That is possibly the best build I've ever seen. Ah, dude. You guys are so impressed by this, like... I mean, it's good work, right? But you guys are very, very, very impressed. Dream SMP looks like a bunch of noobs running around compared to this. Well, you've got to remember, the Dream SMP isn't meant for builds, right? That's the first thing. But also, like... The Dream SMP... It doesn't... The focus isn't builds. And the thing is, the people who play on the Dream SMP aren't good Minecraft players. Right? Or at least by most people's standards, they're not good. Apart from maybe Dream himself. There's not actually a lot of good Minecraft players. Like, let's be honest. Right? Just because they're big doesn't mean you should expect like insane builds from them just because they have a following. The thing that I don't like about the Dream SMP is how many really, really annoying like stands they have, right? Like actual stands. Like people who literally live and breathe the Dream SMP. It's like all they do. That's what I don't like, right? Not because like I don't want people to get like mistaken by what I'm saying, right? Not because I'm not saying people can't like things, okay? Because that's just a little bit too far, right? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is a lot of the people who are very obsessed with the Dream SMP, or these quote-unquote stans, get very aggressive, right? Especially on Twitter and stuff. They get very, very, very aggressive. Very aggressive. Like, there was a guy who said... I can't remember who it was. I don't know. If I find him, I'll let you guys know. But there was a guy who just tweeted, and he just said, Minecraft roleplay is cringe. That's all he said. That's all he said. Literally just that. No extra thread, nothing. And dude, he was getting comments that were like some really mean things. Really, really mean things. Some people were having a go at him, and they were like, well, why do you have to shit on what other people like, and why do you have to be so horrible about what other people like? And then there were some people who were saying, oh, it's just his opinion, like, get over it, dude. Which is fine. But like, some people are so aggressive. These dream stands, they're so aggressive. The people that would respond to this tweet would have like 17 to 20,000 followers, right? And they would post like 6 times a day of this Dream SMP lot, and they'd send the same things, just pictures of these guys, and it's like obsessive. Like, it's obsessive. Like, it's all they tweet about. It's like, dude, do you not have anything else that you enjoy talking about, or enjoy tweeting about, or do you not have any other hobbies? Like, it's literally all you do. It's like, dude, it's like 8 or 9 to sometimes even like up to 20 tweets a day just of these guys, and it's like, there was an account, I think it got banned recently. Obviously for obvious reasons. It was what it was. It was like a, where is Dream now? And it was like it was a Twitter account, and it would just tweet every time that they found out where Dream was, so people could try and find out what he looks like. That's the kind of thing I mean. It's like, these people are so strange, and they're so obsessive, and they're so... and again, not all of them. Not all of that. I'm not... I feel like I'm kind of painting every tile with the same brush here. Let me make it clear, it's not everyone. It's not everyone. But most of them, or at least, I feel like, if you got a group of dream stands, or what would be called dream stands, and you throw them into a group, and then you pick one out at random, I put money on it being one of these guys. One of these, like, obsessive 20 tweets a day on the same people kind of thing, you know? I don't know why people care so much about Dream's face. Yeah, exactly. Like, actually no. Let me explain, okay? The reason people care about Dream's face is because it's almost like having somebody really, really famous that you know, like an actor or something, and they never show their face ever, and then at some point they're like, okay, I'm going to show my face. Like, I get it's like curiosity and stuff, and you want to know, and it's like, you know. But there are people who were tweeting, and they were like crying because they saw like Dream's like hand or something, and they were like genuinely crying. It's like, dude, it's someone's hand, bro. Chill. And this is what I mean, like, they just don't... And I understand that most of them are like 14 years old, and they're just they're like actual children, and they don't understand, okay? But these people are so defensive on Twitter for no reason at all, no reason at all. It's like you can say anything you like, you can say pretty much anything about these guys, and so if it's not positive, they'll come at you and they'll be like, oh, what are you saying? You know, like, and they'll try and challenge you, and it's like, dude, it's my opinion. Like, some people on Twitter just need to learn to just, like, take a step back and just kind of assess what you're doing and just understand that it's wrong and move on, because especially how Twitter is now, it's so easy to get sucked into arguments, right? Because you're exposed to so many things, and you're exposed to so many opinions and different beliefs and conflicts and religions and whatever. That's a whole different wormhole, that, but you're experiencing so many different things, and especially for like 14-year-olds, they don't know how to deal with it, and often their way of coping with it is just by basically harassing people. Aren't stans just bad in general because their meaning is stalker fan? I guess so, but I think when people call someone a stan, they're not directly calling you a stalker. Like, if somebody's labeled as a stan, it's not because they stalk you. It's because they're just a very passionate fan, I think, at this point. The definition has kind of changed, I think. Whether it's official or not, it's kind of moved away a little bit. I also feel like you can't say something without someone getting offended. This is, again, a whole other topic, and this could go so many different ways, but the whole getting offended thing is another whole different thing. You want my opinion on this? Genuine opinion on this whole thing, the offended thing. If you're a sensitive person and you find things offensive that the majority don't, or a vast majority don't, you just need to get off the internet. If you care that much, you should get off the internet, because the thing is, people kind of beat around the bush a little bit, and they'll be like, yeah, I don't like this, and this offends me, but instead of walking away from it and being like, okay, I don't like this thing, so I'm going to distance myself from it, instead of doing that, they go and harass the other person, because they're like, I don't like that you're doing this, so I'm going to make you stop doing it. Cancel culture was the other one that I wanted to talk about. I think that's another pretty kind of key topic that doesn't really get discussed enough for how severe it is. The whole thing with Techno being doxxed for stuff he said 4 years ago was... It's so true, just because, like... So true as in it's so wrong. Like, the whole idea around cancel culture... So for anyone who doesn't know, because I know that I've got a lot of... not a lot, but... I've got younger viewers who might not understand this kind of thing. And I respect that. Cancel culture is basically where... people... Getting cancelled, quote-unquote cancelled, is where someone can do or say a bad thing or have a bad action and get cancelled for it. And being cancelled basically means just ignored, like left out of society, you know, no one gives you attention, no one talks to you, no one, yeah. Everyone hates you. It's basically just a beaming aura of hate. And no one liking you is what being cancelled means. And the reason it's so devastating, and it's such a big problem, is because people are, instead of the thing is, cancelling inherently isn't a bad thing, okay? Being cancelled isn't a terrible thing to do, okay? And let me explain, because that can be taken out of context. The reason I say that is because... to get cancelled, or at least in the past, you had to have done something pretty bad, okay? You have to have been, and there are some people who have, like, genuine, like, allegations against them and, like, illegal things that they do, and they get cancelled for it, and that's fine, right? That's deserved. Like, if you do something that's deserving of it, like something genuinely illegal, then, yeah, get cancelled. You deserve it. Like, of course you do, right? But the issue around cancel culture right now is that people are getting cancelled for things that they've said in the past. And instead of cancelling somebody being a positive thing, and, you know, this person's done a really, really bad thing, let's get them out of society, we don't want them, you know, we don't want them talking to us, we don't want interactions with them, nothing. Instead of it being that, it's become, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to actively look for things to cancel because I want people to feel that pain. Right? And so it results in people scrolling through people's Twitter to stuff they said 9 years ago and then bringing it up now and being like, oh, this person said a bad word 9 years ago. Cancel them. Like, no. And this is the thing. This is the analogy that I use. And tell me if it's a little bit messed up or a little bit wrong, okay? But to me, it's like, let's say, right, for argument's sake, let's say right now, people have petrol cars and people have, so petrol is in like gas cars, like diesel, petrol, like liquid fuel, right? And people have electric cars, okay? We have both. Let's say that in 10 years' time, it is against the law to have a gas car, petrol. So you're only allowed electric, okay? You're only allowed electric. And if you have a petrol car, you're considered a very, very bad person. Very, very, very bad person. And you will probably get cancelled, okay? To me, that's like, in 10 years' time, where everyone has electric cars, that's like somebody then going back in their Twitter to 2021, this year, and saying, oh, there's a picture here of this person in a petrol car. Cancel them. Like, dude, in 2021, they were fine. They were legal. Like, what do you mean cancel? The time period that you're speaking about, it was fine. Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, now it's wrong. But at the time, it you know, no one raised a finger. And it's so ironic because the whole idea of cancelling somebody is to make somebody change. Make somebody become a different person. But the ironic part is, people are going back to things that they've said in the past that they now don't agree with, and are cancelling them for it. It's like, dude, that person has stopped saying that because they've changed, and you're still cancelling them. Do you see where the irony comes in? It's like, you're cancelling somebody, or trying to get them cancelled, because of things they've said in the past that they probably don't agree with now. It's like, dude, they've changed. That's why they don't say it anymore. That's why it was 9 years ago instead of yesterday. Because they've changed. They have a cancellation hit list. They really do. They really, really do. They have like a list of people that they just want to cancel. And they're like, okay, this person's cancelled. Who next? Like the most recent example is Carl Jacobs. Does anyone know Carl Jacobs? I'm sure you do. He said something... I can't even remember what he said or what he did. But dude, he said it, and then the worst part is he comes out and apologizes for it. Like, oh my god. And this is the thing. That these people are being forced to give in because of how toxic their community is. It's just such a horrible thing when you see people get cancelled for things they don't deserve, and it's very hard to... It's very, very hard to watch a lot of the time. And that's why Twitter can be a really horrible place. And that's why social media can be a horrible place. And which is why I personally, and again, this is a very, you know, personally, I don't think children should be on social media. It should be until you're maybe 17, maybe 16, 17. Because it's just not it's purely just not good for you. It's just not good for you. And this leads to the whole social media debate again, but I've already made a video on that before in the past, so if you want to go and watch my social media conversation, it's on my YouTube channel. It's like with... I'll go into it a little bit. So, it's like with social media where... And the reason I say that children shouldn't be on it is because children take... Especially when you're a teenager or you're a growing teenager, you take criticism very heavily. Because you're very insecure about yourself, a lot of the time. Right? And on social media, like you're as a human, humans before social media would maybe be exposed to 5, 10 people of who they look like, who genuinely cared and had opinions of, right? You'd have maybe 5 or 10 people that you know who would give you criticism based on what you look like, okay? Or maybe would see what you look like. But now, on social media, and that's what your body was made for. Your body is made to take in criticism from 5, 10 people. But now, we've got social media and Twitter and Instagram, and suddenly people are being exposed to thousands and thousands and thousands of people seeing your pictures. And you've got thousands of people who all have different opinions in your comment section, and they're all saying different things. If I was 14 and I had, you know, like 50, even 50, like 10 times the amount I meant to, you know, 50 comments talking about what I look like. Even if just one of those is bad, and it could be from someone you don't even care about, or you know, you could not even know this person. Excuse me. You could not even know this person, and you still take the criticism. Like, why? There's a common rule, chat. Okay. Everyone in chat, I want you to listen. Listen up. Listen up, okay? Because this is a very, very important life lesson that I've not only learned, but been taught from a lot of others. Okay? Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. Okay? Now let me break this down a little bit. Think about it, okay? Would you take criticism... Let's say you're a football player. Would you take criticism from a basketball player? No. Because you wouldn't take advice from them. Right? Would you? You wouldn't take advice from them. You wouldn't take advice on football from a basketball player. What do they know? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with 90% of things. Like, would you take criticism from a Fortnite YouTuber if you were a Minecraft YouTuber? No. What do they know? Would you take criticism if you're a Minecraft YouTuber from, I don't know, Grian? Of course you would. Because he knows what he's doing. He's been there. He's been where you are. And he's overcome it. Of course you would. Think about it like that. It's really important.